So this call is going to be all about how to land high-paying copywriting clients. Stefan and I did a similar presentation to this last year, and it went over really, really well. So we're bringing it back. Really, the principles are staying the same. When it comes to landing high-paying copy clients, Stefan and I have both done it ourselves, and we've helped tons of people in our Copy Accelerator Mastermind to do it. So the principles we're teaching work, and we're going to go over those today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat along the way. We'll try to answer questions as long as it doesn't interrupt the flow. But yeah, are you guys ready to learn how to get high-paying clients? Awesome. All right, so I'm pulling up my screen. Stefan, can you see? Give me a thumbs up. You can see the screen. Yep.
Thumbs up.
Cool. Actually, I'm gonna pull the chat up too, just to keep an eye on it. All right. So how to get high-paying clients who pay you what you're worth. Let's dig into this. So when you really break it down, there's really only two reasons why your dream clients don't hire you. These are pretty simple. One, they don't know who you are. And two, they don't trust that you'll bring them an ROI. So let's look at that again. The clients don't know who you are, and they don't trust that you're going to bring them an ROI. So our goal on this call is to help you solve both of these problems. And there's one thing we want you to keep in mind while you watch the presentation, and it's probably going to be counterintuitive really to a lot of your current beliefs. I know it is for a lot of copywriters, but there are literally hundreds of direct response business owners paying top dollar right now for copy that converts. And we're going to go over some of who those companies are a bit later. We'll actually give you the names of those. But there's really no shortage of copywriters that are making money right now. We have a bunch in the Copy Accelerator Mastermind we have a bunch who went from not making any money, brand new to copywriting, and are hitting six figures within a year. We have a bunch that are even at the higher end who are making 300 grand, 400 grand, 500 grand a year. So there's really no shortage of copywriters out there killing it. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're thinking about what we're talking about today. So we'll give you a couple examples of this. So Randall Pruitt, probably one of the top earning copywriters in our Copy Accelerator group, earning anywhere between 40K and 50K a month as a copywriter. Scott Mills, when he joined, he was making around 10 or 12K a month, and he's now doing around 25K a month. Sam Novak, I just realized I forgot to put Sam's picture in here. Sorry, Sam. Sam is making over six figures a year as a copywriter. She's been killing it and is honestly one of the most helpful people. One of the most helpful people in the Copy Accelerator group. Ning, a lot of people love Ning and know Ning. He's very active online and does a lot of copy coaching. Just got a big raise from his copywriting client because his copy is working so well. Oh, I forgot Krista's picture too. Sorry, Krista. That's probably because I edited these slides and added them and totally forgot to put your picture in. Krista is one of the ones who literally got into copywriting last year around August, September. And Krista just recently got a six-figure copywriting deal for a major direct response health company, which basically she's been writing copy for, I don't know, 7-8 months and got a six-figure copywriting deal, which is pretty amazing. Same thing with Jazz. Jazz Courtney started last year. He's already on pace to make 80K this year. Right out of the gate, doing pretty damn well, which is pretty amazing. So I want to show you that because it's a big belief among a lot of copywriters that there's limited number of copywriting jobs and there's only certain people that are getting it, the people at the top, but there really is plenty of money out there for you to get as a copywriter. And there's tons and tons of companies that are eager to give it to you. Stefan, anything you want to add for that?
Yeah, I mean, just even in the chat, it's really fun always seeing like CA members come in. I mean, Brian Sparnell talked about how he just broke 30K this month. Prior to that, he had never done more than like 10K. Or his average was 10K, I mean, at least. Sam talked about how like within a month of joining CA, she had a 20K month. And then, and never broken 5 figures, ran copy weeks after joining CA, had my biggest month over 20K. Eric Pander went from less than 2,000 a month to last month he did 8,200, which is not even his best month. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Even more, look at that. Just my stats in the OTO got a huge bump due to CA. We're getting this like already like a CA webinar about us even. That's not the intention of this stuff. We're talking about the event at the end of what we do today, but to provide value. But I just love seeing those wins. And yeah, I mean, one other thing, Justin, is like I think about that. It's like go look at your not right this moment, but like when you look at your promotion tab in like Gmail and you see all of those emails coming in, it's like a copywriter wrote like literally, every single one of those like promo emails, right? And then how many promotional emails do you get like a day? Like 50, 100, whatever it is. I mean, the idea that there's some scarcity thing or that there's some shortage of good paying jobs, that there's like a shortage of opportunities is just completely not true. It's like every big client, every good client has a constant need for copy. I mean, I partnered with a company that does like 60 million a year in the supplement space. And we're about to launch a couple offers. And it's like, all right, we need a shit ton of native ads. We need YouTube ads. We need Facebook ads. We need like all of this stuff. And we have an in-house team, but it's like, we're going to create like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different ads. And it's like, as it grows and scales, we'll have to go out and hire more writers from outside too. It's like, there's like not, you constantly need more copy as an offer owner. So I think it's really important to make that point.
Yep. So just kind of a quick background on who we are and why you should listen to us. Most of the people on the call probably know who Stefan and I are, but if you don't, Stefan charges around $50,000 for a sales page, which is pretty amazing considering he started out charging $149 for a sales page, his first one that he ever put on the Warrior Forum back in 2012 or so.
Yeah, I think it was it was 2012 actually, for sure. Yeah.
So in, I don't know, 9 years went from $149 for a sales page to $50,000 for a sales page, which is pretty amazing. Over 700 million in sales online. I personally believe Stefan's the best copywriter in the world right now. I don't think there's anybody who has a track record as good as his over the last 5 years. And Stefan lives in Vegas right now with his wife and daughter, who is about as cute as can be.
Yeah.
Little Eden. So for the guys who don't know me, so I charge anywhere between 50 and 140,000 per project when I do consulting. I really haven't done a whole lot of consulting over the last year, kind of dropped it to focus on our mastermind. But that's a long way from where I was before. In 2010, I was broke, living in a $250 apartment and sleeping on a leaky air mattress. I literally had nothing going for me. I was struggling and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So it's been a big change for me over the last 10 years. I started out charging around $300 for a sales page. I eventually learned how to write copy. I mentored under David Deutsch. I got really damn good at copy around 2014 to 2017. And that's when I built my supplement company, built that to a $23 million company. I wound up selling that in 2017. And have basically just been helping copywriters and helping entrepreneurs since then with our Copy Accelerator Mastermind. A couple other things about me. I do a lot of pro bono work for dog rescues. I'm a big dog lover, so I do a lot writing direct mail pieces for them and email campaigns and stuff like that to help them raise more money so they can save more doggies. And I moved to Austin, Texas about 5 years ago and absolutely loving it. So a little bit about me and Stefan. Here's kind of what we're going to go over today. So over the next 60 minutes or so, we're going to share our cheat sheet for getting high paying clients, no matter if you're a newbie or you're an advanced level copywriter. Are you guys ready for that? Let's get a little energy in the chat here to make sure everybody's ready. Got some yes coming in slowly. Yeah. Come on. We need a little more energy than this.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. All right. So let's dive in. You have to have the skill first. So what do we mean by that? You can't make up for being a bad copywriter with good client getting tactics. So you have to have some copy chops. I actually had a really funny conversation about this with Carlene Englade Cole, who is an amazing A-list copywriter and an amazing human. We were chatting and she always has people talking like, oh, can you help me get clients? Can you help me get clients? Yet they don't really know how to write copy yet. And literally she's very bluntly is like, well, what are you going to do if you get a client? And I mean, it's a very serious question. If you don't have the stats, if you don't have the skill, I mean, if you don't have the skills to be able to write copy, what good is getting a client? So you do not have to be the best copywriter in the world to land clients. You do not have to write for 8 years to get a client. A lot of people write for a couple months and they're able to land clients. So, but you do have to have some level of skill, whether that's writing emails, writing ads, writing leads, writing long form copy, whatever it is, you have to have some copy chops. So I talked a little bit about that here. So if you could write a winning sales page or a VSL, if you could write winning email creatives, if you can write upsells, if you can write Facebook ads, YouTube ads, stuff like that, these are all in high demand. And direct response businesses are super happy to pay you lots of money to be able to do this. Couple examples here, like this is a BioTrust email. They send out emails every single day. They've hired a lot of people out of our Copy Accelerator Mastermind. This is an example of what I would say a pretty good email looks like that BioTrust sends out. Couple more examples here. This was, I can't remember who this is from. Oh, this is Jason Hansen. He's also in our mastermind. He does a lot in the prepper tactical spy niche. So lots of cool, like interesting stuff in that niche. And Jason's copy has been written by a lot of people in our niche. So if you just kind of look at this copy and see the level of copy that's going on here, this is kind of what someone like Jason is looking for. Another one here from the golf niche. I believe Scott Mills might have wrote this, who's a Copy Accelerator member who I just showed you. If you're over 40 and you're frustrated by losing distance off the tee, you like to add 25 yards to your drive, I have an unusual message for you. Don't you dare try and change your swing. You heard me right. If you'd like longer drives straight down the middle of the fairway, blah, 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 blah. So really good, simple, flowing copy that gets to the heart of what this market likes. This is I'm trying to remember what this one was from. This is an ad template for some type of make money online biz op kind of offer, I think. But yeah, pretty simple, but really good. And especially like this part where it's short, flowy, easy to read, super important when you're writing copy. So to kind of wrap that up, you have to have a base level of skill if you want to get high paying clients. There's no way around this. You can't not have copy chops and land high paying clients, because they're going to find out very quickly that you don't know what the hell you're doing. And really, the better your skills get, the better your copy converts, the more you get paid. Someone like Stefan doesn't even really advertise himself whatsoever, does not actively search for clients, yet he gets hit up all the time for people wanting to hire him. Why? Because his copy converts. Everybody knows his copy converts. And people tell other offer owners that, oh, we hired Stefan and he got us an 80% bump doing this. That by and large is the best way to get better clients, is to become a better copywriter. All right, so some quick suggestions here. If you're a total newbie, I highly recommend starting small. It's really hard to learn how to write an entire 40-page sales letter when you're brand new. It's like drinking from a fire hose, I think. I always recommend people start with like emails or Facebook ads, something like that. If you can learn how to write one of those, you could start getting hired and maybe getting $100 an email or $100 a Facebook ad. And that way you can start getting clients and start making money and start building a little bit of confidence, building a little Rolodex of clients. I think it's the best way to start. If you're more advanced, your goal is really to start writing copy that converts on cold traffic. So that means copy that converts on cold Facebook ads or cold YouTube ads or wherever they're running traffic from. If you can write copy that converts on that is really the holy grail of direct response. So if you can write copy that does that, people will pay a lot of money. So some of the biggest companies, if you're able to make them, if you're able to write them something that works on cold traffic, they're going to make millions, tens of millions, potentially even hundreds of millions of dollars off of that copy. So they're going to have no problem paying you a ton of money for you to be able to do that. So just a reminder, you can't skip the copy skills portion. No amount of client getting tactics are going to help if your copy sucks. Everybody on board with that so far? Awesome. All right. So let's go to this next part. So when it comes to high paying copy jobs and actually getting one of the high paying copy jobs, it's all about who the client is. I'm going to break this down. So we'll do a little example of this. If you were selling Rolex watches, would you want to sell to the guy who already has 12 watches or the guy who has 0 watches? Pop your answer in the chat. Awesome. So pretty much everybody's saying 12. If you're selling a mastermind, would you rather sell to the guy who's already in a mastermind or the guy who's not in any masterminds? Pop your answer in the chat. All right. So the answer to both of those is you want to sell to the guy who already has 12 watches and you want to sell to the guy who's already in a mastermind. Same thing happens with clients. You want to go after the clients who are already paying high fees. This is how you know they're going to pay high fees in the future. And this is how you know they're going to pay you a good amount of money. So the guy who has 12 watches is much more likely to buy another watch. The guy who's in one mastermind is much more likely to be in the next second mastermind. All that stuff, like I said, is very applicable to clients. You want to go after the people who are already paying top dollar. It is a really bad idea to try to convince a company or a business or an entrepreneur that is not paying good money for copy and does not understand the value of copy that they need to hire you. That is a unfruitful expedition that usually ends in you being pissed off and it going nowhere and them being a crappy client. It's something Steph and I advise against all the time with our mastermind members. You really want to go after the people who are already paying top dollar for clients.
Yeah, Justin, I don't know if you have an example in here on that, but two that come to mind. One is like offline businesses where it's like, oh, or even sometimes online, but they don't really like, well, they have a great product. They just need copy and a funnel and blah, blah, blah. Like, so if I can, convince them to like, to start advertising and build a funnel and that's like a nightmare, right? That's like a nightmare client, right? And again, a lot of offline businesses don't understand the value. And it's like, you'd be so much happier just working with clients who do understand the value. And then, similarly along that vein, Justin, would be like when you work with like nonprofits for dog rescues, and I know you've had like just nightmare situations where it's like every single time just crazy teeth pulling, and they finally do it and it makes them like 7 times more money than they've ever like raised before. And then like, you're like, all right, let's do it again. They're like, well, I don't know. And you're like, oh my God, like it's I'm sure it's a nightmare, but yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And if I didn't love the dog so much, I wouldn't do it. But but yeah, you want to stay away from the clients who you have to convince every step of the way, because that's what's happened. Even if you convince them to hire you, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have to convince them when you write the 20-page sales letter, they're going to say it's too long. Nobody's going to buy from that. They're going to want you to shorten it. They're going to want you to do something else. You have to convince them every step of the way that what you're doing is correct. And it literally just turns into a nightmare. So those are the clients you want to avoid. Steph and I have kind of coined this the trash versus treasure clients. Really, trash clients don't understand direct response. And that kind of is what happened with when I did a lot of stuff with the dog rescues. I wasn't getting paid for it. It was pro bono work, but in terms of how they are as a client, they really were not a great client because they just challenged me on everything, even though they have no marketing experience or no copywriting experience whatsoever. And I'm the one who understands this. They think they do. So trash clients don't understand this. Trash clients are not hiring copywriters, conversion experts, lead gen help. And trash clients tend to micromanage your copy. I know, Stefan, you've had some experiences with clients, which is just fascinating to me because like I said, I think you're probably the best copywriter in the world. And the fact that people try to micromanage you is just baffling to me.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is as you get better and charge higher fees, it becomes less common, but it doesn't go away entirely. I had one client in particular I can think of where actually a couple, but sometimes it's like it's even like track changes and edits where you deliver your sales copy and then it's like they give it to their entire team and their whole team is coming in and then like I get it. If the offer owner is like, hey, we would say this or this is more on brand, like great. But I'm talking about like, Jill from accounting is like, how about instead of like, like push we say force or like just like weird like word like suggestions like a thesaurus and you're like how about you guys don't worry about this and just actually launch this copy, but also yeah they're like hey cool yeah send me the lead send me this let me look hey how's it going can I see the copy early right like just all that weird might like you want someone who's like who understand the good offer owners and good clients understand the value of direct response, they understand the value of you and then they basically give you the money and they're like all right like come with the finished product that is now, or implementable. I can just take it, apply it, and get an ROI. So you want the people who, look at you as an investment that they literally just give you the money and then they take what you've given them, deploy it, and get their ROI.
All right, so that was kind of trash clients. Let's look at treasure clients. So treasure clients are serious direct response marketers or ecom marketers. They gladly pay top dollar for winning copy. They know how to get traffic. They know how to scale a winning offer. They know their numbers and they let you see the numbers. That's really important. They understand the value of a winning email, a sales page, an upsell, an ad. The people who really get this, like they'll pay you 20 grand to write. Like I got paid by Mike Geary $52,000 to write one upsell for Mike. It took me 2 days to write. The reason Mike paid me that is because I boosted their average order value so much that they were able to scale their offer from 80 sales a day to 1,000 sales a day. So 52 grand for that is honestly kind of chump change for jumping from 80 sales a day to 1,000 because that just completely changed their business. So yeah, those are the type of clients you want to look for. We're going to show you obviously how to get a hold of them, but if you want to get high paying copy gigs, you really have to work with clients who are already paying high fees for copy. Like we said, it's really hard to convince these people that don't understand our marketing, who don't understand direct response, that they need to be paying you big money. So let's look at who's paying high fees for copy. Couple of ones that I thought of off my top of my head when I was putting this together. So VShred, if you guys have seen anything, VShred has hired, how many people have they hired out of our mastermind, Stefan? Probably at least 15, 20 at this point.
A lot. And what's funny? I mean, I'm gonna say this as a caveat though with VShred. It's like I wouldn't, don't come to them until you have the skills. Because I was talking with Nick in Miami back in I guess February. Nick is like the CEO of VShred. And I was like, well, I know that so many people hit you guys up nowadays, and I'm sure like you get, tired of it. And he honestly was like, no, actually, like I don't get tired of it at all. Like I want people to hit us up. Like people should hit me up constantly. Like I love that shit. So which is kind of funny going back to the whole no scarcity thing. Like they're like, yeah. But one thing I do see people do with VShred, and probably fair enough for a lot of these clients, is if your skill is not there and you hit them up and you're like, I'm gonna crush your control, I'm gonna crush your conversions. Like if you're so super cocky, like arrogant about it, but you don't have a track record, don't have the skills, and like that's going to end really badly for you. So you want to, you get a shot. It's easy, actually very easy to get a shot with a lot of these people, but you don't want to waste your shot. So you do want to make sure that the skills are there first.
Yep. So VShred, they're $200 million business in the health and fitness niche. Trugenics, paleo hacks, they do a lot of paleo keto stuff. Jason Hansen, I mentioned some of his stuff earlier. BioTrust, they do health supplements. Credit Secrets, which is JD Bolt's company, they do credit repair. Danette May, health, fitness, wellness kind of stuff. Golden Hippo is mostly supplements. Investors Alley is financial newsletters. Performance Golf is obviously golf stuff, mostly to the basically 60, 70-year-old kind of older men market. Shockwave Solutions, they're actually an agency, but they've hired, 15 probably copywriters out of our mastermind at very high prices. Money Map Press, they're a financial kind of Agora division. So all of these people are paying big money for copywriters. All of them are looking for good copywriters. They're always on the hunt for new people to write emails, to write sales pages, to refresh old sales pages. Always, always, always looking for that. So let's go into some tactical stuff for how to actually get high paying clients, even if you don't have a portfolio. So Steph and I have shared this method before. The 3 email method. It works pretty damn well. And we'll share a little example of how John Robb is a copywriter that's in our mastermind. He used this to land one of his treasure clients. So he wanted to work with Danette May's company. They're, I would say, probably a $20 to $30 million business. They do a lot of supplements and info products in the health niche. John did not have a portfolio of health copy at the time. Kept getting denied on gigs because he had no copy samples to show. Usually if you're trying to get hired and you don't have samples to show to someone, it's pretty hard for them to hire you. So John wrote 3 email creatives for them for free. He sent them over to the company to test. He mentioned, if these do well, I'd love to talk to you guys about writing more stuff for you. So nothing else to it, except he knew which offers they were running. He wrote some email creatives for them to test. Mentioned that they did well. I'd love to talk to you guys about writing more stuff. So this is one of the emails he sent over. Really good kind of contrarian angle, subject line, stop eating vegetables. So it starts out, veggies are boring, right? Unfortunately, right now, getting the essential nutrients that veggies contain are absolutely critical if you want a strong immune system, because without them, your immune system can break down and that could weaken your ability to fight infection. Not good. But that doesn't mean you have to run out and stock up on a 3-year supply of kale. While veggies like kale contain blah, blah, blah. So you kind of get the idea. Here's kind of what happened. So John sent those over. The client liked the emails and tested them. The emails performed very well. So the client was quite happy. And they wound up hiring John to write some new leads for their sales page. So since then, John has written, I want to say, at least 3 sales letters for this company. I'm pretty sure he gets paid about $15K for each one. So this basically turned into $45,000, $50,000 of business for John. Yeah, so well worth it for him. Literally just wrote 3 emails for them, sent it to them, had them test it, and it worked. So if you're doing stuff for free to get clients, you have to write this stuff first and then send it to them. Steph and I always talk about, don't email them and be like, can I work for you for free? That actually is more work for the business owner. Actually, just do the work up front, send it to them, and hopefully they'll answer or at least take a look at it. Sometimes they won't. But if you're just kind of writing 1 or 2 emails, it's not like you're writing an entire 40-page sales letter for them.
Yeah. I mean, Sam Thompson, how do you protect yourself from getting your free creative swiped? I mean, have them swipe them, have them use them. I mean, all the worst case that happens is now your creators are out in the marketplace. I mean, the very worst case, say, XYZ big DR company, and you send them a free creative and then they use it and don't pay you for it. You'd be like, that's unethical and crappy, which it is. But they're like, oh yeah, I just wrote a creative that you may have seen that this big company is using a bunch. How cool is that, right? You may have seen it. So just turn, lemons into lemonade. But have more of an abundance mentality on that too. I mean, it doesn't, most people are pretty honest, right? So yeah, I just want to kind of share that.
All right, so we gave you the 3 email method. Next one is live events. Stefan and I are huge advocates of getting clients at live events. And I would say if you don't live in the US and you're not able to travel right now because of COVID, don't stop that from allowing you to go do live events, whether that's in your country, whether that's attending them virtually, however you're going to attend them. I'll give you a couple examples of people who have made the trek to live events that basically put all their excuses behind. So Pauline, who's one of our mastermind members, lives in Australia. Our last Copy Accelerator event, she traveled 21 hours to come to the event, which is insane. I've never been on a plane that long, have no interest in being on a plane that long, but Pauline is a trooper and an amazing copywriter too. But she's dedicated to getting to live events because she knows what it means. Mattia, he lives in Italy. They got a bunch of different fitness offers that are in the Italian market. traveled 14 hours to come to our last Copy Accelerator event. Boris lives in France. Offer owner, wrote some copy as well. He traveled 15 hours to come to our last event in Vegas. So live events are one of the best places to land high-paying copy gigs. I'll break down why. So number one reason why is there's a barrier of entry to get in the room. So if you're in the room, the big name people there, the V-Shreds, the Agoras, the Natural Health Sherpas, all of them, they're going to look at you as equals since you're already in the room. This really cannot be overstated. They don't know you from anyone else in the room. So they think just by proximity of being in the room, you are someone. Reason number two, we mentioned at the beginning that the reason you're not getting hired is because people don't know who you are. Live events solve the problem of the client not knowing who you are. It's so much easier to get hired by people when they know you and when they've met you, especially when they met you in person, because then you have some type of relationship, some type of bond. You probably have some friends in common. You might have a drink there or eat next to each other, whatever it is. It makes it 100 times easier to get hired. They take you much more seriously. So reason number three, you get the full attention of a busy business owner at a live event that you can't get any other time. Stefan could probably chime in on this. A lot of the business owners that are hiring copywriters, they are working 12 hours a day. They get 100 emails a day. They got 25 texts on their phone. They're managing employees. They're putting out fires. There's just a ton of stuff going on in their life. When they're at an event, they are hanging out, talking to everyone, and you can actually get their full undivided attention like you can't really get anywhere else. It's pretty, I mean, like I said, you could be sitting next to them at their table. You could just talk to them in the hallway during breaks. You could be next to them at dinner, whatever it is. You can actually get their attention where most likely you're not going to be able to get their attention through shooting them a message on Facebook or email or anything like that.
I want to throw in a couple things here. On the live event side, because one person had asked, I think it was Matthew, if he should bring like printed kind of copy samples, and then Christian Davis had asked about bringing business cards. And I think business cards can be fine. I said to Matthew, I probably wouldn't bring printed samples because one of the most important things here is, I mean, you could bring like copies of like printed copies of your sales letters or emails or whatever, but the big thing with events is that it really is more about the relationship. Like what generally tends to happen is that, when you're there, you're talking to people. Exactly. Yeah. Like a lot of it happens like at the bar, at the party, at the different parties, at like dinner, whatever. Like, it's really like people, you hire people that you like, right? And if somebody kind of likes you and you're bonding with them, like a mistake that some people make when they come to like an event early on is I think they come with this mentality of like, they're very formal and they give you like the elevator speech. And then they're like, hey, and like, what's the number one problem that I can solve for you in your business? Right. And like, you can understand like why you may be asking that question, but realistically, like then someone's like, this guy's just trying to get me to hire them. Like they're just trying, or this girl is trying to get me to hire them, stuff like that. So really like, it's much more about just building relationships. And if you do that, generally what happens is, then towards them like, hey man, you actually have some copy that, it'd be great if you could write this copy, or, my friend does, or like, then they're talking to somebody else and they remember that, oh, like you should talk to this copywriter. They said that I was talking to them and they mentioned that they do a bunch of like whatever copy, right, that they write, stuff like that. So just really more about the relationships. Like you don't want to come with the mentality of just like, in like a suit and like your, resume, stuff like that. You want to make it a lot looser. And then the other thing I want to answer real quick, I know Eric Kostenko had said, he's an e-com copywriter. Are these tactics only applicable for DR type businesses, or can they be used for more D2C type businesses? Yeah, I mean, like any D2C type business, really. Like we actually have a lot of e-com stuff we do in Copy Accelerator now. We've done multiple sessions on it. A lot of our guys are doing e-com type landing pages, and yeah, same exact thing, whether it's emails or an audit of their current page. I mean, e-com is super low-hanging fruit because if you apply some good DR elements to e-com pages, right, with like better headlines or a bunch of other stuff, you can just really move the needle for them a lot. So wanted to add those couple things as well.
Yep. All right. So reason 4, deals are made all the time. We already talked about this a little bit at bars and cocktail parties at events. I can't even tell you the number of friends I've made in this industry who wound up being people I hired, who wound up being affiliate partners, who wound up being traffic partners, who introduced me to media buyers, who introduced me to people that I eventually hired, all from hanging out at the bar or at cocktail parties. And if you know me, that's a big, I'm pretty introverted. I'm not like out there socializing normally. And I don't even really drink either. So the fact that I do that, you can see why I do it, because there's so much that goes on, kind of what Stefan said. So much of this building the relationship, building a friendship that happens at these events happens at bars and cocktail parties. So reason number 5, create a network of people who will refer you future copywriting work. There's so many people in our mastermind who actually have, like, when they get overloaded with too much work, they refer it to friends of theirs in the mastermind who they've hung out with at events, who they've kind of done copy stuff together already. If you can build this little network of people, and let's say they have too much work, or they get someone who approaches them and they're like, oh, it's not really a fit for me, but it might be a fit for this person. That type of thing works really, really well. And you can kind of create that from live events. Reason number 6, some live events will even matchmake for you and set you up with clients, which is really great if you have imposter syndrome or you're introverted and you don't want to actually go approach and talk to people. So some live events will actually do that for you, so you can actually connect with the clients right there at the event. So here's a kind of look at how this goes down at our events. This is I think this is from our Vegas event. If you look across the top there's about 6 different direct response business owners standing up, and they are talking about exactly what they need copy-wise. And they're asking in the room, saying, we need sales letters, we need emails, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. All of them hired numerous people from the event. And if you see in the bottom picture, all those business owners are standing against the wall, and people are going up and talking to them, basically asking them what they need and what they can do for them. So, and we only put 6 of the pictures up there, but there was probably close to, I don't know, 30 business owners, I would say, when they're right, Stefan, probably about 30 who stood up and said they needed ads, advertorials, emails, sales pages, the whole 9 yards. So meeting them at live events, especially when you can matchmake, kind of like what we do at our events, is a huge, huge help. So I'll show you a couple of examples that kind of came out of that. So Sam Woods is a copywriter. He landed multiple long form sales pages from Jason Hansen, who I shared some of his examples before. He's in the spy tactical niche. Landed them just from meeting him at a live event. Michael Roisin came to our last event. Michael's probably one of the craziest stories in our group. He was so broke that he could not buy his daughter Christmas presents. He was looking for a job with like Uber Eats and stuff like that, just anything to pay the bills. 3 months later, came to our event, felt totally out of place, felt like he didn't belong, didn't know anything about copy. Wound up probably about a month later connecting with Cody Bramlett, and was making somewhere around $8,000 a month writing copy in the health niche. And Michael's gotten really damn good actually already as a copywriter, writing emails, writing long form sales pages, all of that. So pretty amazing success story for someone who went in not knowing anything about copy, came out with a huge retainer client. Art McDermott, same thing. Went in super nervous, not thinking he was going to get an ROI on our event. Landed multiple email copy gigs for V-Shred, Performance Golf, some in the dating niche, a couple other health gigs. All kinds of good stuff came out of it for him. Ed Ray landed a gig writing upsells and long form sales pages for Ian Stanley. Sam Robson, multiple email and long form sales page gigs in the health niche. So like I said, live events, I'm a huge, huge fan of live events. A few events that Stefan and I recommend for landing high paying clients. Traffic and Conversion Summit is always good. Copy Chief Live is always good. I don't know if they're having it this year. It's a little more beginner focused, I'd say. And then the Copy Accelerator live events. Every time we have these, we have the matchmaking sessions at ours, and all the big business owners are there hiring people. So one of the big takeaways here, do everything you can to go to live events. It's one of the best, easiest places to land high paying copy gigs. Like I said, you can get a hold of business owners. You can talk to them face to face. You can see what they actually need. You can actually build a relationship with them. Whatever you have to pay to get there, you're usually going to get a huge ROI on it if you have any type of copy skills at all. Stefan and I always joke that like copywriters at our events are like the hot girl on an army base. Like there's just people frothing over you because there's so many business owners looking for good copywriters. They're always there. That's what they go to our events for, is to hire copywriters. So they're always looking for new talent. They're always looking for people who can beat their controls. And you're kind of the queen of the prom when you're a copywriter at one of our events. By the way, I want to go off the record real quick, Stefan, and do something real quick. I just got tagged in a post on Instagram, someone who's on the call. We always do this at the live events where we have people take a picture with us. Let's take a picture with everybody on the call.
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you are watching, feel free to take a selfie with Stefan and I in the background. And if you are on Instagram or Facebook, feel free to post it. If you're on Instagram, tag us and I'll repost a bunch of them. So get a picture of Stefan and I and you. So basically you just turn around, take a selfie with your screen at your back. We'll do this for like 30 seconds and we need to do something fun though. I don't know what to do.
Am I in a little box or am I side by side? It could be like you and me standing on top of your head. I don't know how it looks.
I think you're on top of my head.
I'll point down at your head like this. You know, you can be in between us. Yeah.
This is gonna be a great picture. All right. So hopefully you got a picture. We'll switch back. We'll switch back to the webinar and finish up. All right. So big takeaway, do everything you can to go to live events. It's one of the best places to land high paying copy gigs. Let's recap why you're not getting high paying clients. Like we said at the beginning, 1, they don't know you. 2, they don't trust that you can get them an ROI. That's really the 2 biggest reasons. So how are we going to solve this? Number 1 is what we talked about at the beginning. We improve our copy skills. So you need to know what works when it comes to emails, ads, sales pages, upsells, etc. Whatever you're going to be writing for, you have to have a good idea of what works, what doesn't work. That's how you get better. You also need to meet the Treasure clients and get to know them. That can be done over email, but personally, I think it's much better if you can do it in person. There's really a lot of ways you can go about this. So you can read copywriting books. You can read Stefan and I's daily emails. You can see the stuff that's in our free Facebook group, on our YouTube channels, all that. You can also cold email potential clients. This has worked for people. It also might not work for you. It's kind of a crapshoot. But we also have another option. So August 31st to September 2nd, we're having our Copy Accelerator Mastermind, which is in Scottsdale, Arizona. We started promoting it last week. This is the actual mastermind for our mastermind. So everyone who's in our mastermind, all 220 people, the majority of them will be there. And then we also sell tickets so you can come sit in for the 2.5-day event as well. You can attend in person, which we recommend. We also have a virtual option if you're in a country that's still on lockdown or you wouldn't be able to make it for some reason. The virtual option is great as well. Basically at the event, we're going to do 2 things for you. 1, make you a much better copywriter and marketer. So teaching you things about emails, sales pages, leads, upsells, everything that's going to make you better and up level your skills, and which is going to lead to you making more money. And secondly, introduce you to the high paying clients that actually want to hire you. The ones that we already talked about, the ones that are looking for copywriters all the time. So a lot of these companies that we showed you, I would say 90% of them are going to be at the event. Plus, I don't know, there's always probably another at least 20, 25 companies that are there that'll stand up and they'll be hiring people as well. So huge opportunity to land clients at the live event. Like I said, it is the best place to land clients, in my opinion. I'm not just saying that because it's our event, but we really put a ton of effort into getting big business owners there, that need copywriters, specifically because it helps all the copywriters that are there. So one other thing I want to mention is who we have speaking at the event. So we really kind of brought out the big guns for this event. Mr. Moneyfingers, Chris Haddad himself is going to be speaking. Probably the best storyteller when it comes to copywriting out there. He writes VSLs that are just captivating. Dan Ferrari, who Stefan and I both love his copy. He's crushing it right now with a new fitness offer that he launched with a couple of partners. Dan's going to be there. Rich Sheffrin, who is kind of like the guru to a lot of the gurus. Stefan and I both did his Steal Our Winners monthly thing, and been talking to Rich a lot. He wants to come out. He's going to talk about upsells. Saba Karimi, who is one of the coaches for Copy Accelerator. Saba is just an all-around badass marketer and copywriter. And she started as just like an article writer, which is pretty amazing. She was just writing articles for like $10 an article, learned what copywriting was, and now she's doing stuff for V-Shred and Russell Brunson and all these biggest names. So she's pretty amazing. Josh Snow, I don't know how to say Josh's last name. I always mix it up, so I'm not going to even say it.
Yeah, nobody does. Like, he doesn't know how to say it. I think my last name's bad, and then I see his like.
So if you've seen the Snow teeth whitening, Josh is the guy behind that. It is a massive, massive e-com brand, and they use a lot of direct response tactics to sell their stuff. He does a really good job of blending e-com and direct response. And Josh is going to be the keynote speaker on the second day, kind of digging into what they're doing. Our buddy Ian Stanley, who is doing some pretty interesting stuff with email triggers, is going to be coming and talking about email triggers and what he's doing to make a whole lot more money from email than most people make from email. He actually, when I did my affiliate contest for my print newsletter, Ian actually won. And I think one of the reasons he won was because he had a lot of these email triggers implemented, which made him a ton of extra sales that other people weren't getting. So Ian's going to be speaking. And then we have a mystery guest who is Golden Hippo's secret copywriting weapon. Golden Hippo is a $400 million direct response company. They're the ones behind Dr. Gundry, Tony Horton, a bunch of big name people that they're running VSLs for. And they write and create some of the best VSLs out there. It's pretty amazing. And someone from their team who is kind of the brains behind a lot of the operation is going to be coming on stage and sharing exactly what works for them. So that's going to be a pretty interesting talk. And then obviously Stefan and I.
Yeah. And the secret weapon, it's a lady, which is awesome. I want the ladies to know we are, we're representing the better sex, as well as we can. So she's a badass. But yeah.
Nice. By the way, I'm looking at my Instagram and there's been 2 people that tagged me so far. So if you're posting pictures of this webinar with your selfie, feel free to keep posting them and tag Stefan and I in it. I'll repost some of them. So, all right, like I said, these events are normally for our Copy Accelerator members and Copy Accelerator Lite members. They pay between $14,500 and $45,000 a year to be a part of our group. But if you want to come to the event, you don't have to pay that much. Right now, you can actually get a ticket for $1,450. And Stefan's actually going to show you everything that comes with it, because it's actually not just a ticket. There's actually a lot of very valuable goodies that come along with it.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, so I know somebody just had asked about how, what are our different membership programs and things like that. So we run, Copy Accelerator, which is the mastermind. And as Justin said, this is the event we do for our mastermind attendees that we also make tickets available to others for. So the full version of Copy Accelerator is $40,000 a year or $39.50 a month. And then the light version, which is really what we actually focus on more, and is the better fit for most freelancers, is $1,450 per month, or like $15,000 a year. But like the cool thing is, that's why we price the ticket to the event for $1,450, because when you buy a ticket to come to the event, you actually get into the light version of our mastermind leading up to the event. So if you were to, apply, you have to apply, which you can do from the link I put in a couple of times here. And I'll talk about the application stuff in a second. But if you buy your ticket today, let's say, you basically have 2 months in the mastermind. So it's whatever, $2,900, right? That like of a free, basically with the ticket to this event, that is like a 2.5 day long event. with a bunch of the biggest, names in direct response and e-com, a ton of potential clients, amazing networking opportunities, very valuable content that will up level you and help you get better fast, right? So, the ticket to the event itself is insane, right? We have one of the best reputations ever for these events. But on top of that, you actually get 2 free months in our mastermind as well. So it's a wild kind of deal. And I will go ahead and share what like a little bit more what that means, what our mastermind looks like, and what you get access to. Justin, if you can give me access here, that would be super duper. Make me co-host or whatever you got to do so I can share. Yay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. Oh, there we go. Put this over here. I'm not using my second monitor because my computer just wants to explode and overheat every time I do it. So this is a sales letter I've been linking you all to. You can go through it, check out everything, see more about the speakers, the details, things like that. And then at the bottom of that, you're going to just go ahead down and click to apply. And when you apply, you'll have a call with Blake from our team. We want to make sure it's a good fit. This is not something where, because people always ask, well, I'm new, can I attend? I don't know, maybe I'm too new. It's not like a deal where like we have new people come every single mastermind and then they end up like getting clients, getting better, all these amazing things happen. So, you don't need to be intimidated. Like we are one of the most accepting groups. The first opening talk we basically make everyone commit to like mentoring each other, helping each other, being like nice to each other. We call out imposter syndrome when we tell people who have imposter syndrome, hey, you're in a safe place. Like we really make a strong concerted effort to make it very inclusive. So the application is just to make sure that basically you're not an asshole and that you are a good fit, right? So it's not about where you're at skill wise. It's more about just making sure you're a good fit culturally. So if you go through the letter and go down to this part here, you click here, right? And you just apply and you'll talk to Blake from our team. If you've been to one of our events in the past, you can directly buy a ticket. But yeah, otherwise we want you to talk to Blake. We also want to know more about you, the application process. The other thing is Blake learns about you, where you're at, what your goals are. And we make a really concerted effort while you're at the event, whether it's physical or virtual. We make a concerted effort to make sure that you're getting the value you need, that you get the ROI you need. If you're looking for clients, we try to make sure we're matching you to prospective clients. If you're looking for, for business owners who need help with something, like that's one of the reasons we do the application stuff as well. But as mentioned, when you buy a ticket, you get into the Copy Starter Mastermind leading up until the event. So up until like September 2nd. So here's actually it's a nice new members area. You can take a little peek inside of it here. This is sort of the homepage and the feed. You can see most recently Brian from our team.
All right, looks like Stefan froze. All right, I will see if I can pull this up and continue on. That has never happened on one of these before. Interesting. Can you guys hear me still? Give me a yes if you can hear me. Pop something in the chat. Okay, I just want to make sure it's. All right. So yeah, we kind of went over with Stefan hops back on. We'll dig into that, but I just want to hop over. So you get to be in the Copy Accelerator group. You get to be on the calls. We have a weekly call every Tuesday. We also have calls for copy critiques that Saba run, Mike Abramoff, and then Brian Spirinello runs a call where he actually teaches the business of freelancing, which is how to get clients, how to make money, how to charge more, stuff like that. You get to be on all those calls leading up to the event. So if you buy your ticket now or you buy your ticket next week, leading up to the event, you get to participate in everything that Copy Accelerator Lite has. So you're on the calls, you're in the Facebook groups, you get to go through the members area, which has all of the past videos from the past events, which is literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars by itself. Stefan's RMBC method is in there. My upsell method is in there. Everything is in there, and you'll be able to go into all that stuff. You also get to network with all the people on the calls. You'll get to network in the group. all that type of stuff. So I highly encourage you to, if you're going to come, join sooner rather than later so that you get to take advantage of that all the way up until the event. So you basically get 2 months of Copy Accelerator Lite for free leading up to the event. Yeah, Sam's putting in there. She said Brian's calls are gold for figuring out what you need to keep the momentum. Yeah, Brian is our kind of professional freelancer who gives amazing freelancing advice to copywriters. He does a weekly call. You can be on that. And yeah, the trainings are literally kind of second to none. So there's a Tuesday call every week with Stefan and I, and then there's other calls led by, like I said, Mike Abramoff, Saba Karimi, where you can actually get feedback on your copy live on the call. So all that kind of leading up to the event. I'm going to post the link for the tickets again. Hopefully, maybe Stefan come back on here in a second. We'll see. I'll pop the. There we go. So that's the link to buy a ticket. Like I said, it's $14.50. The event is August 31st, September 1st, September 2nd in Scottsdale, Arizona. One other thing we're going to do with the events, Steph and I do this at every event. If you want an introduction, if you want to be intro to someone, either come grab Stefan and I or someone from our team, and we will make that happen. So this is perfect when we're at the cocktail parties, or we have a final night party on the last night of the event where everybody hangs out. So it's our mastermind. It's everybody who attended and bought a ticket. You can literally just grab one of us or grab somebody from the team and say, I want to talk to this person, and we will help facilitate that intro for you. So good way to kind of meet the people you want to meet, land clients. You'll get to network with all the speakers. They're all going to be there. They'll be hanging out, having some cocktails. So highly recommend you attend the event. Yeah, Noah put in there, he said, I bought a ticket, had no intention of joining. And after experiencing the training of the community, it was a no-brainer. Awesome. The tickets will always be $14.50. We don't do a tiered one, so they're not going to go up. But the benefit of getting in now is that you get to be in the group much longer. So you get to go to all the training calls, you get to be in the group, all that stuff you get to do. The other big thing I would say, the last 2 live events have sold out. That's not like bullshit scarcity either. We only have so much room in the room. And the last 2 events did sell out, and we actually had to turn people away at the end. So if you want to guarantee you have a spot, I would grab a ticket now before it gets down to the wire, because it's always pretty much everybody tries to wait till the end. And if there's no spots, there's no spots. We're not able to get a bigger room or anything like that. So yeah, if you really want in, highly recommend grabbing your ticket now. Give me a big thumbs up or a thing in the chat if you are going to be at the event. I would love to see who's already coming. Noah said, hell yeah. Dylan said, I paid. Matt said, I'll be there 100%. Heidi, Carolyn, Josh Smith, Sam, Daniel, Brian Spirinello. Awesome. Jazz. Awesome. A lot of people. I can't even keep up. There's a lot of them. Awesome. Sweet. If you have any questions about the event, feel free to pop them in the chat right now. Is it possible to split payment into 2 or 3 tiers? Yeah, when you get on the call with Blake, just chat with him. He can work with you on payments if needed. Yeah, he can help you with that. If you're attending virtually, there will be what it's called Air Meet. There's these tables. You'll be able to network with the other people that are virtually. Stefan and I might pop into those, and some other people at the event might pop into them if they have time. But you will be able to network with the other people that are doing the virtual event. I popped the link in there again. So if anybody needs the link for the event page. How many people come to the event? Usually there's anywhere from 250 to 350. I would say this one would probably be in the 300 range, maybe 350. So yeah, that'll be, there's gonna be a lot of business owners, a lot of copywriters, media buyers, marketers. A lot of the bigger companies send people from their team. So all of that all that will definitely be going down at the event. The opening night, August 31st, we have the opening night cocktail party for everyone at the event. This is a good chance to kind of meet everyone before the event officially starts the next day. So if you fly in August 31st, we'll all mingle, have a couple drinks. You can talk to everybody. You can meet Stefan and I. You can meet the speakers. You can meet any of the other people you want to meet at the cocktail party. So highly recommend getting in the night before or before the night before for that. Any other questions you guys have before I kind of wrap this up? Sorry, I meant questions about the the event. If you want to do another Instagram post, here you go. I'm smiling for you. Ready? All right, cool. So it looks like everything's been answered. So yeah, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet and you want to go, like I said, I highly recommend getting it now for two reasons. A, we will sell out, and B, you get to be in the group and be on the calls for 2 full months. So yeah, highly recommend getting it soon, and you'll schedule your call with Blake. Even if you, I would say, even if you are on the fence and you're like, I'm not sure if I'm a good fit for this, sign up and apply, book a call with Blake, and Blake will be 100% honest with you whether you're a fit or not. If you are just not a fit whatsoever, he will very plainly tell you, and you guys can just kind of go from there. But if you are a fit and he sees potential in you getting a lot of value from this, he'll tell you that as well. So he's very on the ball about that. So I would highly recommend, getting on the call and applying. Matt said, what's the location? It is in Scottsdale, Arizona. All that info, the actual hotel and all that will get to you once you chat with Blake and once you sign up. So awesome. Appreciate you guys coming on for this call. Appreciate you being active and learning. I hope you got a lot of info from this on how to actually land the kind of clients you want, the treasure clients, staying away from the trash clients and getting the treasure clients that pay you what you want and pay you what you deserve. So highly recommend you come to the event if you feel like it's a good fit. Like I said, feel free to chat with Blake, apply for a seat. Blake can answer any questions you have. We're probably going to be doing a couple more of these webinars, so feel free to tune into the others. Just stay tuned to our email list or the Facebook group, and we'll post them in there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks again for everybody for showing up, for playing all out, and for listening. Hope you have a good day.